is going on, guys? Long time no see, I already know. My bad for being gone for so long, but life's been life. Life has been life, and I hope you guys had a good holiday. Uh, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. I hope everything's going well, and if it's not, it's going to get better. But I just want to come on here, basically talk about building the right foundation for life. Because I feel like a lot of the time I catch myself falling into the same habits that I used to have before, but now I'm overdoing that. So I'm definitely getting myself in the rhythm of learning the right foundation for the life that I want. And the first thing I wanted to really talk about is having these beliefs that we didn't choose that are running our life. And I feel like that's where real burnout comes from because we gain these beliefs from things we've been around our whole life, and we like became so used to them that we thought that it was ours for so long, but then we get to a point of trying to actually figuring out what you want for your life, and you're kind of stuck on these habits and beliefs that you didn't choose, but life kind of chose them for you. And and that's where when you're working so hard, you're working and you're like, what am I even doing? And it's because the beliefs that you do have that aren't yours are the reason why you're going in circles and circles, because you don't know why you're doing it. And really, beliefs drive your behaviors because what you believe is what you're going to be doing. So what you believe is what you're going to be working towards. And if your beliefs that you have aren't yours, then you're going to be working towards something for someone else, and it's going to, once again, you're just going to go in circles and circles. But once you actually understand what your beliefs are, your behaviors start to change, and you start understanding that you don't want to do those things, but they've just been thrown onto you by life because that's just how life goes. But you get to a certain point in life where that's not an excuse anymore, because those people who told you that, or the surroundings you were in who told you that you had those beliefs, aren't around anymore. So now you're just going in loops, thinking that you have to stay in the same loop, but you don't. I talked about that goldfish bowl a while ago, and I'm sticking to it because it's real. If you don't know what I'm talking about, gotta go back and listen. Um, but there is really big dangers of skipping the boring work of of what you need to do. I feel like a lot of this comes from like analytics, data, like the small repetitive things that are going to get you to the top of where you want to be, but you got to remember that you can't build a house in one movement. You have to brick by brick by brick by brick by brick, and then it's going to get to that point soon, like sooner or later. But you have to be patient enough and believe that it's actually going to happen, because if you don't believe and you're just hoping that it does, then it's going to be, if it's not impossible, but it's going to be feel like a very much more longer time for that to happen. So just remembering that the repetitive things, you have to be able to get good at something. Not You're not supposed to get good at it and be like, okay, I'm good at it now, I can just go on ahead and try something else. You have to get good at it until you can't mess up anymore. It's not getting good, it's not messing up anymore. And if you do mess up, you're able to recover right away. And because you don't really rise to your goals, you fall to your foundation. And if you don't have a good foundation and your of beliefs, then that is just gonna crumble. Like think about building an Empire State Building on sand. On these, and the sand is the made up beliefs that you've been told your whole life. But if you're actually able to go within yourself and build a strong foundation, there's no matter what, if you fall, you're gonna fall down to your standards for yourself, and the foundation that you built of beliefs that you have for yourself, and the understanding that you have that, yeah, it might be harder now, and I it's not very clear, but I believe that I can do it. Excuse me. And really, changing behavior without changing your belief is very temporary because changing your behaviors before changing your beliefs, it's gonna. I'm not saying it's gonna hold you back forever, but it's going to hold you back for a long time because when you're changing your behaviors, it can be a week long thing, a month long thing, a year long thing. But if you fall back, you're going to fall back down to what you really believe. And what you really believe is that circle that you've been in your whole life, but that's not what we're in anymore. We don't have to be in that circle anymore. There's an ability to get out of that circle. You can break the chains, but it just takes actual work to break it. Because think about all the people in your life who are still stuck in that same cycle, and you see their behaviors that they have. And then they're talking about, oh yeah, I can't wait to change this. I can't wait to do it. But they're not doing it because they don't believe in themselves enough to change their behavior. They don't believe in themselves. They don't believe in themselves enough to be able to change their behavior over a long period of time because they don't believe that it's actually possible because they're stuck in that same cycle that they've been in their whole life, and they don't want to put the work and face the facts that you have to have grit to be able to get through these things, because if you have no grit, then you're going to be able to change your behaviors for only a certain amount of time. You're not going to be able to build that unconsciousness of I'm going to keep going because I believe and I understand that there is something on the other side of this. You're going to have those exact same thoughts over and over and over and over again until you actually find out that what you're doing isn't going to get you anywhere because you don't believe. You don't have the right belief and right foundation to continue the behavior because you don't have something to look at. Like me and my girlfriend just made our vision boards for this year, and these are my beliefs. These are what I know I can do and I can accomplish. So the vision of being able to see it helps me remember what I've seen in the spirit. Because when I close my eyes, I see all those things. I don't even have to think about those things because I already know what it is because I believe that I'm able to do it. But if you don't have the belief before you change your behavior, it's going to be the same cycle over and over and over again. You're be beating a dead horse. And your culture really drives your commerce because the culture you have with the people you surround yourself with and the culture you have within your house or within your own mind is going to get that commerce later on in life, because you can, if you want to go fast, you just go low. You don't have to think about anything. You just keep going and you're going to figure it out sooner or later. But but if you want to go for a far longevity amount of time, you have to go together. You have to build a culture around yourself, no matter if it's people in church, people in work, people in your personal life, your relationship, the house that you're in. It does not matter. As long as you're building the culture, the right culture within, you're going to be able to take it so much further. Because when when Alexander the Great was leading people and leading these thousands and thousands of people, he never said go once. He invited them to come with him. That's the that's the culture you have to build. You don't have to tell anyone go do this. You have to show them that you're going, and they can come along if they want. There's no, oh, go do this and figure it out for yourself. It's, we're gonna go do this. You can come if you want. And they're gonna, if they really want it, they're gonna jump on it. If you tell them to go, you're gonna tell them to go, and then you have no idea what they're gonna be doing after that. So you have to be able to lead from the front and be able to teach people what's going on, not just tell them, but really show them in in a in a in a real life situation that you know what you're doing. And it's gonna lead from there, because then they're gonna see you do it. Then you have something replicatable to be able for you to be able to teach them how to do it. So then they're gonna be able to see you do it repeatedly over and over and over and over again. So then they're gonna be able to catch on, because people do not hold on to what they're taught. They hold on to what they're able to catch. Think about when you're watching, let's say sports. You're seeing someone. Think about the old guy telling you, "Oh yeah, back in my day, I used to do this, this, and that," and you have no proof of what he actually did. But you watch the NBA, you watch whatever college sports, whatever you watch, you're watching these people actually fit into it. Then you're seeing what you can do that you can replicate that they can do. And then same thing in anything you think about. You have to find these people who are able to replicate it over and over and over again and pick their brain as much as you can to be able to replicate it yourself. Because once again, people do not catch on to what they're taught, they catch on to what they're catching while they're seeing. They're seeing it happen because you have to put it into action before they're able to replicate it. That's why at work we go out and whenever we're trying to show people the opportunity, we're 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 getting them in the car with us and showing them the replication of it over and over and over again so that they're able to catch on. Okay, I see that he's doing this over. I see that he's doing this. He's doing this. He's doing this. I can do that too. Not just, oh, this is how you do it, and then you do this, and then you do that. It's not a possible thing to be able to teach someone something just by telling them. You have to show them. And think about why lone wolves burn out so easily because they're not able to remember who they are. Because I know for myself, when I get that doubt in my head, it's because I'm too caught up into what I'm doing that I'm not remembering who I am and what I've done in the past. And that's why you have to surround yourself around good culture because when those times do get rough, because the times do get rough, when they get rough, you have to surround yourself around people to remind you who you are, not people to drag you back down. Because I've done that so much in my life where I surrounded myself with people who just drag me down and just complain, 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 complain instead of being able to have their own struggles and come to me with that struggle and I'm able to remind them what they've done in the past and same for them to be able to do it to me. I come to them with my struggles and they're able to remind me who I am and what I've been able to do in my past. So you have to have a pack. There's not just lone wolf. You have to have a pack to be able to remind you who you really are and you be able to do the same for other people. And you got to remember to to be a truck, not a trailer, because you got to think about a truck and trailer. The truck is only 30% of the rest of the trailer. The trailer's the 70%. So the truck is pulling that 70% day in and day out, and it's the most reliable out of any type of car in the world. So you have to be able to be that truck, not the trailer, because you can't just be pulled around the whole time. You have to be able to pull your own weight and more than just your own weight. You have to be able to pull 70%. When you're only 30%, you have to be able to pull this whole 70% to be able to get to that 100% and get to the end of the line. That's all I really got. Because, man, I just got home from men's Bible study. I am starving. And before that, I just got off of work and I had to drive an hour back and I had to drive an hour to work and then an hour back and I had to drive around the whole time and then talk to people the whole time, just face rejection the whole time. And I am just drained. I cannot wait to go to sleep and wake up for another day. Because man, I am so ready to be out of this phase I'm in right now. Because man, it is rough. I'm broke as a joke. But we're gonna get through it. My nose itches, but we're gonna get through it. We are gonna get through it because I believe in this. This is what's in here. I believe in this. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Good things are coming. Good things are on the way. Let's go. Let's go.